You ate something a few hours ago. You probably don't even remember what it was. And yet right now, your body is already planning for the moment you stop. It has been doing this your entire life. Every meal you've ever eaten, your body treated not as a celebration, but as a warning that food might disappear. And it built an entire survival system around that fear. A system so sophisticated, so ancient, so quietly powerful that it can keep you alive for weeks without a single calorie. Most people never test it. But the ones who do discover something that rewrites everything they thought they knew about hunger, willpower, and what the human body actually is. So what actually happens when you stop eating for 3 days? The answer is far stranger than you think. It starts within hours. You had your last meal. Your stomach is processing the final scraps. Glucose is flooding your bloodstream. Insulin is shuttling it into your cells, and everything feels normal. But somewhere around the 4-hour mark, something shifts. The glucose starts to run low. Your pancreas signals the liver. The liver opens its glycogen stores, a kind of emergency sugar reserve packed tightly into your liver cells, and begins releasing glucose back into the blood to keep your brain running. You don't feel this. You have no idea it's happening. Your body just quietly opens the first drawer of its survival kit. By hour 12, the glycogen drawer is almost empty. This is the moment most people call hunger. That hollow, gnawing pull in your stomach, that slight irritability, that difficulty concentrating. Your body is sending a signal. Refuel. Most people listen. They eat. The system resets, and they never find out what happens next. But if you don't eat, something extraordinary begins. Your body pivots. It stops looking for glucose and starts making it. This process is called gluconeogenesis. And if that word sounds complicated, just remember it means your liver is now a sugar factory running on raw materials it can strip from your own tissues. Amino acids from muscle protein, glycerol from fat cells. Your body is cannibalizing itself carefully, strategically, to keep your brain alive. Researcher Kevin Hall at the National Institutes of Health has studied this metabolic transition in detail, and what he found is that the body does not simply crash when food runs out. It adapts, almost intelligently. By the end of day 1, you are not the same metabolic organism you were that morning. The hunger peaks somewhere around the 16 to 20 hour mark. This surprises people. They expect it to get worse and worse with every passing hour, but it doesn't. The hunger crests, loud, insistent, almost aggressive, and then if you hold on, it begins to quiet. Not because you've given up, but because your body has switched fuel sources entirely. Ghrelin, the hormone that screams eat now, starts to drop, and something else begins to rise. Ketones, your fat cells, which have been sitting patiently in reserve for exactly this moment, begin releasing fatty acids into the bloodstream. Your liver catches them and converts them into ketone bodies, a kind of alternative fuel that your brain can actually run on. Your brain, which once demanded glucose like a spoiled child demanding candy, discovers it can run on something else entirely, and not just survive on it, thrive on it. Some studies suggest ketone metabolism is actually more efficient than glucose metabolism for certain types of cognitive work. Researcher Dominic D'Agostino at the University of South Florida has spent years documenting how ketosis changes brain function, and his findings suggest that the transition is not a downgrade. It is a different mode, ancient, clean, and in many ways superior. By the middle of day 2, you are in full ketosis, and something strange starts to happen to your sense of time. People who have fasted for extended periods consistently report the same thing, a kind of mental clarity that sneaks up on them. Not the foggy, desperate hunger they expected, something closer to focus, sharpness, and almost eerie calm. Anthropologist Mark Mattson at the National Institute on Aging studied this pattern and proposed an evolutionary explanation that is almost poetic in its logic. Your ancestors, he argued, were not their sharpest when they were full and comfortable. They were their sharpest when they were hungry, when the food ran out, because that is exactly when they needed to be sharp, when they needed to solve problems, track animals, find water, outthink threats. Evolution did not wire you to collapse without food. It wired you to become more dangerous when food disappeared. That clarity you feel around hour 40, that is not a side effect, that is the design. Your body is also doing something else during these days that you cannot feel at all. Something happening at the cellular level that most people never learn about. Autophagy. The word comes from the Greek for self-eating, and that is almost exactly what it is. When your cells detect that nutrients are scarce, they turn inward. They begin breaking down and recycling their own damaged proteins and dysfunctional components. Old, broken cellular machinery gets dismantled. Misfolded proteins that have been accumulating for years get consumed. The cell essentially cleans house. Japanese biologist Yoshinori Osumi won the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in 2016 for mapping this process in detail. And what his research revealed was that this ancient recycling system, which fasting powerfully activates, may be one of the most important processes in the body for long-term health and cellular repair. Your body, in other words, uses the absence of food to fix itself. By day 3, something even more dramatic is unfolding in your bloodstream. Human growth hormone levels have spiked dramatically. Studies show they can increase by as much as 300% over the course of a 3-day fast. This is counterintuitive. Why would your body produce a growth hormone when there is nothing to grow? Because growth hormone is not just about building muscle. It is also a powerful signal to preserve it. Your body is essentially telling every muscle fiber, hold on, we are not burning you, we are protecting you. The fat reserves take the hit, the muscle is shielded. Your body, facing 3 days without food, is not destroying you. It is guarding you. Your immune system is also changing. Research from the laboratory of Valter Longo at the University of Southern California showed that prolonged fasting causes the body to break down old, damaged immune cells, and then, when eating resumes, to regenerate new ones. A kind of immune system reset triggered by nothing more than the absence of food. Longo called it one of the most remarkable findings of his career. That something ancient humans did, simply because they had no choice, going without food for days, was quietly rebuilding their internal defenses every single time. By hour 72, your body has crossed a threshold. It has fully accepted that food is not coming. The metabolic shift is complete. Ketones are feeding your brain. Autophagy is running at full speed. Inflammation markers in your blood have dropped. Your insulin levels have fallen to some of the lowest values they will ever reach in your life. And your hunger, that primal, screaming hunger from day one, has settled into something almost meditative, a background hum, present but no longer in control. This is the part that unsettles people, because you expected to feel destroyed, and instead you feel strangely okay. Ancient humans fasted like this constantly, not by choice, not as a wellness practice, but because food was uncertain, seasonal, and hard to catch. The feast and famine cycle was not a crisis, it was the rhythm of life. Your body was built inside that rhythm. Every adaptation described here, the glycogen switch, the ketone conversion, the autophagy surge, the muscle-sparing hormones, the immune reset, every single one of them evolved over millions of years, precisely because going 3 days without eating was not an emergency. It was Tuesday. The crisis, if there is one, is the world you actually live in, where food is available every hour of every day, but your body's ancient fasting machinery never gets called on, where the drawer with the glycogen is always being refilled before it empties, where autophagy rarely activates because there is never enough scarcity to trigger it. Your survival system is intact, perfectly preserved, ready to run the moment it is needed. It just never gets needed anymore, and so it waits. Tonight, you will probably eat within the next few hours. Your body will process the calories, restock the glycogen, silence the ketones, pause the autophagy. The survival system will stand down, and you will go to bed full, unaware of the ancient machinery humming just beneath your comfort. The same machinery that kept your ancestors alive across ice ages and droughts and days when the hunt came back empty. You ate something a few hours ago. You probably don't even remember what it was. But your body remembers every meal you have ever skipped, and it has been preparing since the very first one for exactly this.